Tranquility.
Incredible match on the lineup for you. It's going to be Comets versus the Holy Jalapenos in your Harmony match of the week to bring all of the action at you. I am Dor, and I am joined by Captain Jack. Captain Jack, how are you doing today?
I am doing incredible. Just went on an hour and a half journey to find toilet paper and was absolutely unsuccessful. So I'm going to remedy that by getting into some amazing Overwatch action. Don't know if those two compute with one another, but we're going to try to make it work, folks.
No, it sounds about right. Sounds about right. You know, relieve the struggle. You know, any constipation issues or be put by the wayside here for some Overwatch. The Comets and Holy Jalapenos look like a great matchup at that. Holy Jalapenos sitting at 3-2. Meanwhile, Comets 4-1. Comets notably having that incredible single feature match up against the Fighting Potatoes that got delayed by the whole servers cutting off that whole shenanigans. They ended up taking that one 3-2. They had some great matches up against Karma, Paradise, and Modify as well. Holy Jalapenos putting away a couple unfortunate losses, but I think they're looking to come back here. And it looks like we'll be starting out on Nepal. You want to start taking us through these rosters, though?
I sure can. Coming in for the side of the Comets, we have got Funny Name, Fairy Tales, and Ruby, Alex, Sips Tea, Red Mudkip, and Truth. And for the side of the Holy Jalapenos, we've got Bethcon 2, Sniper, Malalia, Vet, Abe, Pogu, and Black Trooper.
Lots of notable names here. Rose doing fairly well in the Widow 1v1 tournament earlier on during event week. Alex has been making some splashes, though, in the DPS role. I'll be wanting to see what they have to offer, but I think the players are just about ready in the lobby here. I gotta say, Captain Jack, any sort of pre-match prediction here? What do we expect to see? Who do you give an advantage to?
Well, I feel based on what we're kind of seeing here, I feel like Comets might be able to take it here, but Holy Jalapenos still showing with a 3-2. I feel like Control honestly can go either way, and we might be able to see a good start for the Holy Jalapenos tonight on Nepal.
And Nepal, a pretty interesting map given what's going on here. I'm not sure what the bans are if we're playing with them. I don't know if it's the teams agreeing to them at this point. Given that stage 2 has happened, I think we may be on some. But Nepal, nonetheless, really, really weird. So Village is a map where you can be seeing a lot of the Mei, a lot of Reaper, a lot of singular point spam, but then you head all the way over to Sanctum, and Orisa becomes just hard meta. Reinhardt can't play there at all heading into the final map. It's another rough one for Reinhardt, but nonetheless here, it's going to be a tough time for the Holy Jalapenos, I've got to say, and both teams going to be running out. There it is on the Mei, but Alex locks in a Torbjorn, and this is something I want to talk about today. something that I've been a huge advocate for ever since Torbjorn got his last overload buff on his E. That cooldown getting shortened by about 3 seconds was huge. He was immensely powerful. It's a great ability, and I think he's going to offer a lot here for the Holy Jalapenos.
I definitely agree with you there. And as you see, we're getting the Ryan Zarya composition coming out this time around, which, remember, we're in Harmony tier, so we're talking gold, platinum area. We're not always going to be seeing the meta that we've been getting so used to in the higher tiers. And there comes the action.
Sir Blake goes down, followed by Abe, and the team without the May, bound to fall. Alex follows up with a little bit of that rivet gun. He's going to look to clean up this fight immediately. The point takes over the way of the Holy Jalapenos as well. Check out those ultimate charges.
That is absolutely beautiful right there. And if this Sips T is the one I know from another organization, their Reinhardt play is absolutely spectacular, as we saw right there, getting a triple kill as they go ahead and grab control of the objective. 10% in climbing right now for the Holy Jalapenos.
Like Jalapenos as well, lining up with that first Coalescence. They can look to get aggressive with it if they so choose. However, Pog can dish out a lot of damage on this McCree as long as he decides to use his high ground. I like, though, that the Holy Jalapenos are backing off here, opting to allow this point pressure to come in, then looking to use their May here. Sir Blake, though, gets the first wall down on a 60. He's in a load of trouble right now. Gets taken down. No main tank here for the Holy Jalapenos. Continuing on his fight, Pog finds a pick down onto Alex, and that's going to be it. All this point control given over immediately to the Comets off of the back of a huge wall from Sir Blake.
That was absolutely beautiful right there. And that's all about positioning. Sir Blake, obviously, knowing that Sips T was just a little bit away from the rest of the team, just trying to contest the objective. That ended up being the downfall right there, as that May will always go for it. Oh, and that's a fat shatter.
Already finding 2 kills here. Comets look to extend their lead. Also, building up a fairly nice ultimate bank while they're at it. I've got to say one thing to watch, though. Holy Jalapenos, they're way, way closer to this Graviton than Snipper is to the Sound Barrier. And Graviton, along with Molten Core, is a devastating combo.
I agree with you there. And with the Deadeye on the line right now, it could do an incredible amount of damage if they can end up getting Sips T's shield down. But if that aggression proves to be fatal, Sips T and the rest of the Holy Jalapenos might make their way back in to grab the objective.
Oh, forget the combo. They think it's Blizzard time, and Pog on the high ground finds 2. He's going to look to clean up this fight. That Zarya is in no position to do anything. 4 ultimates still in the bank here, though, for Holy Jalapenos. The Comets committed a lot to that fight, but they may have just bought Snipper enough time for that Sound Barrier.
That is true. Snipper might be able to get that online, and without the Blizzard to really worry about it, they really have to just counter the Graviton that's coming in. Red Mudkip, though, does have that beat drop ready to go ahead and bring into the fight for the Graviton that Ruby has ready to go. The question is, who is going to get it off first, and who's going to get the most value?
That's exactly right here. Oh, but Pog on the high ground gets punished early. The push coming in now from the Holy Jalapenos. They chuck in the grab, but it's a counter grab, keeping him off. Alex uses the Molten Core, gets it past the wall, just in time. The Shatter to follow it up. Sips T cleans up on the Reinhardt. And Funny Name's going to be more than happy to take those eliminations with that Coalescence.
And that was absolutely beautiful. Overtime continuing to tick away right now as they go ahead and clean up the rest and grab control of the objective. Absolutely beautiful for the Holy Jalapenos, but they are in final fight territory until they're able to hold this objective until the end. The question is, will Comets be able to bring it back? No one has ultimates on the line just yet. Pog and Abe, the closest ones to be able to bring that Deadeye and Shatter online. Question is, will they be able to get the value that they need to re-grab the objective?
In truth, whiffing on the Maywall here is actually going to offer a huge opportunity for Abe, and they find it. Ruby goes down to the wall of Sir Blake. The follow-up comes in. Coalescence from Malalia looks to take down Reinhardt, heal up their teammates. 2 for 2, though, on the point right now. Pog gets the Deadeye down onto Red Mudkip. No Sound Barrier available anytime soon for him. Now it's all about the stall here for the Holy Jalapenos. Alex doing his damnedest on the Torbjorn, but he can only do so much as the point ticks over and overtime starts.
All right, let's go ahead and see if someone can touch that objective in time. I don't think it's going to end up happening. Comets going to go ahead and take this match 100 to 82, starting off their possible first win here on Nepal.
Yeah, I think it was really the overcommit from the Holy Jalapenos needing to use more ultimates than was necessary in the fight it took them to win the point. that ended up losing it for them there. They used a significant portion of their ultimate economy. Meanwhile, the Comets only had to use that Graviton Surge. And one thing that's really, really worth noting when you're going to use the Graviton Molten Core combo, Molten Core goes through shield. And not directly. It doesn't just fly through like a Fire Strike. When it hits the shield, it drops down, and when it hits the ground, it spreads out. And so even if Reinhardt is holding shield and Graviton Surge, you do still effectively hit the entirety of the Graviton Surge by throwing the Molten Core into it. And I don't think the Comets knew that. They followed it up with a significant portion of ultimates when they were already up in a significant portion of health. And now, heading in here, we're going to lose that Torbjorn, lose that opportunity as they look to play something a little bit more interesting.
And I think this is where we're going to start seeing some changes, especially in Sanctum. Using that Orisa can be absolutely huge. Snipper, though, staying on that Lucio might be able to provide the boops they need to keep them off the objective, and they're going to grab it without even really taking a fight.
Yeah, they do manage to take down Funny Name, looking here for the McCree in Truth, but they find Ruby first, pushing down the front lines here. The tanks swing through. Abe's a man on a mission, and the Holy Jalapenos are more than happy to deliver him.
That was absolutely beautiful work coming out from the Holy Jalapenos, really setting it up so that they can take the victory on this map and set themselves up for a victory in general. Comets really need to be working on their positioning and maybe going for a more aggressive approach than trying to take the distance fight here.
Yeah, but with that Ursa, that's really the only thing they have. Trying to get Truth in a position where he can get a pick is going to be huge here, but Abe steps forward, eats an accretion to the face, and Bethcon now off the edge of the map. No tanks here for the Holy Jalapenos. It's free pickings, free lunch here for the Holy Jalapenos, and they look mighty tasty to the Comets right now. They're going to throw in the tack visor as well, just for good measure here. Might be a little bit of an overcommit, but they've got plenty of ultimates to back it up after this.
That was absolutely beautiful right there. Control going over to the Comets for the first time with 59% for the Holy Jalapenos, but they do have that Coalescence online. Sips T, though, having the Gravitic Flux as well. That could be absolutely beautiful if they get the right positioning. Could end up using that with Ruby's pull to end up taking the whole team off the side of the map.
Waiting for the best opportunity here. Sips T decides it's now. The halt into the Gravitic Flux. Only the Zarya gets out. The rest of them losing half their HP as Alex and Sips T look to clean up here. Coalescence will be used by Malalia, but it's no use healing it up. Instead, it's the Blizzard that's really going to put the nail in the coffin here for the Holy Jalapenos. Deadeye drop behind point from Truth buys this team a lot of time. Funny Name and Red Mudkip are alive. They've got the sustain from the supports. They just need the damage. Truth firing off shot after shot after shot, but he's no match for the beam of Bethcon here as he gets taken down, and the point ticks over the way of Holy Jalapenos.
And that was a beautiful grouping. Maybe a couple more ultimates than they had planned on using for that fight, but they have plenty online to be able to hold this objective right now. Comets really got to regroup and figure out what they're going to do to push past this incredible defense.
Yeah, forget overusing ultimates right now. Comets have nothing in the tank. They've got a bongo, but after that, Alex is maybe near a visor here. It's all about getting it up, though, finding that pick. But with the Deadeye drop and the shield taken out of the way here, Pog looks to clean up. Alex finds one back down on Abe, though. A second. This visor might be huge. Malalia is stuck in the line of fire, and Alex is absolutely relentless right now on the Soldier 76. Sir Blake trying to duel him off the high ground, but it's going to be too little too late here. As Sipsty's on point, Pog's not long for life.
All right, Comets regaining control, once again finding themselves in the same situation they were onto Village and really having a difficult time using that environmental area to grab some kind of value. It looks though as we are going to see a different kind of push coming in from the Holy Jalapenos, but putting themselves so close to the edge might end up being dangerous for them.
Yeah, you're playing with fire right now. Malalia is exactly that. Throws in the Coalescence. The halt doesn't quite land, but a Graviton Surge is going to ensure all of this damage does. Bethcon looks to clean up here on the Zarya. Ruby holding on to the corner of the point here. The Gravitic Flux will manage to pick up too. Abe, though, gets bubbled, drops down. Alex on the side of the point, though. This Soldier 76 has been potent as ever, and it just refuses to stop dishing out damage. And with Truth behind him, he could do this. He's got the Deadeye, but no match for the pistol of Pog, and overtime ticks down. It's going to be the side of the Holy Jalapenos taking that map.
And that is showing to be beautiful, but I gotta say, this is something that we commonly see for a team that might be seen as the underdogs in the situation. Control is such a back or forth. Going into the next couple of map modes will really show us whether the Holy Jalapenos have what it takes to be able to take down the Comets effectively, or will they end up losing their luster as the Comets rain down upon them as we go into our next map?
So one thing I want to say, we've seen a lot of interesting stuff, especially out of the side with Alex running that Torbjorn. They ran some interesting stuff when it came to Sanctum with the Orisa. Where do you expect the Comets to take this one if they do want to win? We're heading down onto Assault here, and so I believe it's going to be either Volskaya, Temple of Anubis, or Paris. What's up here, Captain?
Well, I got to be honest with you. I feel like the direction to go would be Paris if they're looking to use that distance to their advantage, because Holy Jalapenos are showing to be a very aggressive team with that Ryan Zarya combination. And so, if you can use that distance that's provided by the Paris map to be able to essentially just rain down upon them to where they can't get past, it could end up working out in their favor. Again, you could end up seeing that as a counter when you go on the attack, and having to figure out how to get past that may be an issue. But I feel like, based on what I've seen so far coming out from the Comets, that may be the direction for them to go.
Yeah, heading over to Paris offers a few things there, being able to run the Orisa the Torbjorn. It's worth noting a couple of changes that were coming out. I believe it was today or yesterday on the most recent patch. It was the May reduction on the endothermic blaster ammo. However, they did also reduce the amount that it takes to fire off the secondary fire, the icicle. And then also the steadfast nerf that Reinhardt received. He actually gets knocked back more now. They changed it from that 50% cut down to 30%, which honestly I think is almost better for him in a lot of ways. It won't save him from being Lucio booped off the edge of the map, but it doesn't change anything with Halt. And honestly, the only interaction I've really seen it affect has been with Roadhog, whereas Roadhog's Whole Hog used to just be an instant kill for Reinhardt because he didn't move backwards fast enough from the knockback to save him from any of the damage. Now you actually can, given a little bit of help from your team.
Absolutely. And it's we're still it looks like the teams have chosen to go to Volskaya Industries. Definitely another incredible map that can be useful at a distance. Typically you would see something like an Orisa Diva composition coupled with either a Bastion or a Torb, along with that Symmetra. Being able to teleport from both of the high grounds over Objective Alpha will provide more than enough firepower to make sure that the objective is taken care of. And then you have the Diva that can easily bounce back and forth between the objective to contest long enough for Bastion and Orisa and everybody else to try to melt the team. The question is that the strategy that the Comets are going to end up using, or will they have to grab some milk before the Holy Jalapenos take them out again?
Yeah, they're feeling the burn right now, but I think they're just about ready to head into Volskaya Industries here. A couple things being fixed up in the lobby real quick. As far as this current meta, we've seen a lot of interesting stuff. The Torbjorn, I don't know if you've been watching any Open Division gameplay, but there has been all sorts of fun stuff being run. Hackfist has been all over the place, a fair bit of dive. The bunker has been surprisingly absent given the presence of said dive heroes, but nonetheless, it has been a something that's been played. What's been the most exciting little bit of change you've seen since hero bans have happened?
I think the thing that I've found most exciting, just in my own personal engagement with hero bands and competitive, is it just forces people to be a little more flexible. Like, you watch Overwatch League and no one's like a one trick like Lucio or Widow or anything like that. And so having these hero bands really forces you to either, one, choose that for a week you're not going to play Overwatch, which I think is incredibly sad, or two, it kind of gives you a little bit more breadth, vice depth in your characters, because honestly, not every character is meant for the same situation. You know, Widow may be good in some things, but not in all things. So I think it's really giving people the ability to create more breadth in their character play.
That's exactly what it's done, forcing him to be very flexible. And Alex looking plenty so here on the far, taking a very, very long angle out the backside here, but he's going to get a lot of damage in here. The halt down, and so are the Rockets. Pog goes down immediately. Zipsky now gets to move to point for free here. I like this risk pick. It's going to demand attention. They need to engage, but they can't when there's a Pharah constantly barraging their backline with rockets. Not the ultimate, just the rockets, but they cower down into this little bitty room with the mini pack, and there's not much they can do here but just take the rockets. They don't have any sort of range. Pug is the only thing they've got, but he went down early. Sir Blake though snipes Alex with an icicle, not before Funny Name finds kill of his own though, and this point is just getting picked apart here on point. 3 members remain. Malalia is soon to go down here on the Moira. Pug gets back just in time to die a second time, and Bethcon, the sole member of Holy Jalapenos, holding on to this point right now.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. It was a different composition than I predicted, but since they were on the attack first, it definitely worked out. Being able to take different angles of the attack over that objective and just rain damage down is something that's absolutely perfect. We see it a lot of the time on King's Row when you see teams use a dive composition to be able to get all different angles on the team and use that high ground successfully. With Alex having the barrage online, all it's going to take is one well-placed ult, and they might grab objective Bravo pretty quickly.
And if I'm being completely honest, I want to see the ground barrage here. You've got plenty of shield to hold behind it. You get a couple of easy kills in, but no, the Pharah leaves and the pick starts come out here. Holy Jalapenos push through immediately the second that Alex steps out of sight line. The aggression starts and the Holy Jalapenos find multiple picks.
And that was absolutely beautiful timing. You're essentially in a 4v6 battle until that Pharah Mercy gets in position right there. And they were just watching for them to go out of sight, to not be able to retreat quickly back to the team. Got the picks that they needed and ended that push quickly.
Oh, but keep an eye on the Comets ultimate charges here coming in with pretty much all 6. Needs to hit a big one here, though. It's Alex. The barrage hits the halt. Finds one. Plenty of damage on top of it, but Pog's got a dead eye of his own. Takes down 2. The kills, though, looking a little bit more even than they were at the start of the fight. Comets, though, wisely going to back away, given the spawn advantage of the Holy Jalapenos.
Yeah, unfortunately, they had to be expecting that Deadeye as well. Shut it down before it ended up doing a lot more damage that it could have. They ended up getting for the rest of the team in that ult, and being able to take that down would have surely met the demise of the Holy Jalapenos. That Deadeye literally saved that push.
The threat's not gone, though. The Comets still have a significant portion of their ultimates left, and Alex taking down Pog sets himself already up another 30%. The push, though, coming in from the Comets, deciding that the side is going to be the best way to do it. Drop the bongo out of the sidelines. Now that damage is just going to be massive. Force out that sound barrier early, and you can follow it up with a shatter. Doesn't quite hit, though. Abe blocks it, but gives his life for that same shatter. Pog takes him down in the meanwhile, but Malalia, wait a minute, the huge coalescence takes down 2, pretty much 3, as Funny Name dies at the end of the fight. What a clutch play.
That was absolutely beautiful. The use of both of the heal ult, Sniper using the beat at the beginning of that fight, and Malalia using the coalescence, saving it to the end to be able to break through those shields was absolutely beautiful. Ended up saving that objective and not allowing a tick to be had by the Comets.
So the one thing I'm seeing from the Comets here is the lack of a real, just guaranteed fight win. No sort of Graviton Surge comboed with a Dragon Strike. No sort of combo like a Sigma might look to pull off. Nothing that's going to really guarantee a shatter here. Maybe displacing them with the concussive blast from Alex. They need to win this fight quickly, but they don't quite have the tools here. The barrage has to be huge, but Pog takes down Alex yet again here on the McCree, shutting down this Pharah Mercy so effectively. Now it's going to be Red Mudkip caught on the side with absolutely nothing to do, taking that 6-shooter to the dome, taken out of the fight, and the front line cleans up easily.
And I think this is really the time that the Comets really need to start thinking about changing up their DPS composition. The Far Mercy is great, can be incredibly effective, but with both Pog and Sir Blake obviously keeping tabs on where that Far Mercy is at all time, it's not sneaky. They're not going to be able to sneak up on them and be effective in that way. And so they really need to kind of switch things up, especially when there's only 2 minutes left on the clock.
I honestly think it's time to be playing some ground fire right here. You've got the double shield, plenty of space for them to use. Good off angle though by Alex. I like this approach as opposed to going all the way on the flank against Pog, but the Deadeye is surely going to take out both the Mercy and the Pharah. However, roll the back line! 4-5 with a Deadeye and some follow-up. Sips T at 1 HP on point, but damn if it doesn't matter right now. A massive play on the flank from the McCree, and all of a sudden the Comets are looking in charge. Only one tick onto the point though. This isn't over yet. The Bongo dropped the Coalescence from Malalia. It was big last time. It's got to be even bigger right now. The damage boost is through. The invulnerability field out of the way. The Gravitic Flux is up and brings down 3 members of the Comets and absolutely shuts down the push.
And that's the unfortunate part, is that that Deadeye absolutely cleaned up right there. But the one thing that held everything together was the fact that Pog was allowed to last on that point just a couple of extra seconds. Those seconds were all they needed to prevent them from getting that second tick on the objective. And, you know, now they're going to have to fight their way in with only 50 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, as well, losing your Pharah and your Mercy before the fight, I mean, yes, you got 4 picks, but that respawn advantage is just so present at that point. It's not really worth it. Rosé, though. Oh, she's on another kind of flank right now. Does she go for it again, though? This Widowmaker probably not getting as much value as the Deadeye did. Needs to push in, though. The pick has to be huge with 25 seconds left on the clock here. It's all up to the Comets to push in, but there's a Tracer on their Widowmaker. Not what they can do. They chuck in the amplification matrix, but it's going to be the pulse bomb in the back line. Both the supports down. This one is all but in the books right now for the Holy Jalapenos.
Yep, that is it. With only 59.1% grabbed on objective Bravo, we're gonna have to see if Comets can set up that incredible defense on objective Alpha for their defense. If not, they're gonna have a really hard time against the aggression of the Holy Jalapenos on objective Bravo.
I've really got to hand it to the Holy Jalapenos here. It's not just their compositions that are winning this. It is the way they are playing them. They are so conscious of that Pharah. Not only are they sending Pog over to take her out of the sky, they're also sending the rest of their team forward, taking advantage of the second that Pharah leaves. They understand there isn't going to be a second support. There isn't going to be any amount of damage really coming at them without those missiles. They know when to take their engagements. They know where to take their engagements. The Jalapenos are looking real hot right now.
I completely agree with you there, but Comets have the ability to be able to take this. It is literally something that they've shown multiple times. Obviously, being 4-1 right now in the season, they have the ability to shut this all down. I just think that they're having a really difficult time figuring out how do you take care of the Holy Jalapenos and their compositions. Right now, we see them coming in with Pog and Sir Blake on the Symmetra and Doomfist. Definitely a lot different from what we've seen so far this evening. They're probably going to be looking to do that left side flank into the objective. And if they see that early, Ruby could end up getting a perfect pull right off the side and shutting that down before it even starts.
Yeah, and Comets lock in the Pharah again here. It can be big if they see the teleport coming, but it looks like they're going to take a slightly different route here. Where are they headed?
They're headed on top of the bunker. That's a much
that
faster
may not be
way.
where you want to be up against the bunker composition of the Comets. Starting the fire in, though. The point starts to tick down. Sir Blake dives onto the high ground, and Pog finds one with the turret. Not over yet here for the Holy Jalapenos. A rough engagement, but they're cleaning up more than nicely afterwards here. Taking out everybody as they drop to the ground. Alex can't deal damage nearly quick enough, getting beamed down from the sky. In fact, it's going to be Snipper who finishes them off. Heading now onto the second point here, Holy Jalapenos with a hell of a lot of momentum.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's an unfortunate set right there. They had the double shield, but they weren't using heroes that would have really sufficed with that double shield protection. Like, you have the Faro Mercy in the sky that can easily get picked off with no protection. You don't have like a Torb or a Bastion that's providing a huge amount of firepower, or at least another gun on the field. And now they have 6 minutes to hold objective Bravo, and all they have to do is get about a tick and a half.
Yeah, they lose a little bit of that momentum with Malalia going down. Alex is 75% to the barrage, which could be a huge foil in the plans here of the Holy Jalapenos. But right now, they're looking hot. They're going to use that teleporter to surpass all that damage that the Far was planning on doing. Pog, though, on a cheesy flank. Not quite going to get what they need, though. Not quite going to get what they deserve. That flashbang lands. The kill doesn't. Bethcon, though, on point. Lasering people down, cleaning up, following up the barrage that did absolutely nothing here. Malalia with yet again another huge coalescence. At the point, ticks over the spawns, cannot come in time. That's going to be it. Holy Jalapenos take their second map of the night.
And I have to say, they are showing to be incredibly spicy right now. Just the aggression, the pure aggression that continues to come out from Holy Jalapenos is showing to be huge. Sir Blake, probably with that double pulse bomb that we saw there at the end that took down both the healers, it was what absolutely locked in that final push before it had even started. And I gotta say, Comets really gotta figure out how to get past the what's the word I'm looking for? Just the strategy that's coming out from the side of the Holy Jalapenos. Despite their score right now, they're showing to be online to take this entire series right now, and I feel like Comets have it in them to be able to turn it around in the second half.
Yeah, right now, though, it is going to be the Holy Jalapenos up. Will the Comets burn out, or will they find a way to reignite here? We'll have to find out in just about 10 minutes here as we head into a little halftime. We'll catch you guys in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Harmony Tier featured match of the week. Score currently sitting at 2-0 here. 2 being the Holy Jalapenos, leading with a very, very powerful grip on this game right now, ending those 2 maps in what felt like record time. Tonight on the desk for you are me. I am Dorian. I'm joined by Captain Jack. Captain Jack, how was your halftime?
It was absolutely beautiful. I was having a couple of tech issues, but we were able to figure it out for better or for worse, and hopefully that'll go ahead and streamline our process for tonight. But I hope Comets really took advantage of this halftime, though. They were showing to be a relatively powerful force coming in here with a 4-1 score in the season so far, and Holy Jalapenos right now just kind of running them over. So I'm not for certain.
That's putting it lightly.
Yeah, that is. I'm trying to be as nice as I can, and so I'm hoping that maybe Comets. And this is something, again, we are in gold platinum tier. This is something that we constantly see. Sometimes you're just not good at certain game modes, and that's okay. But this is showing to be kind of a one-sided fight. So I'm really hoping that Comets can turn this around. We are headed to our hybrid map for tonight. So I'm hoping that whatever the pick ends up being, that is what we will, this is where the Comets will start to shine.
Yeah, and it looks like we'll be heading to Blizzard World. And I got to say, the biggest difference that I've seen here, as much as I may not necessarily agree with the compositions that Comets are running, I think the biggest difference is the fact that the Holy Jalapenos have identified when their composition wins against the Comets, and they're taking advantage of that. The Comets aren't correctly identifying their win conditions before fights. They're not correctly identifying the enemy's win conditions, and that's losing them a lot of things because the Holy Jalapenos are timing their engages based entirely on that. Whether it be knowing where someone's coming from or what they're going to be looking for, whether it's knowing, okay, there's going to be a Pharah on our backline, we need to engage now, whether it is, okay, there's a Torbjorn, we know our engagement timing is going to be when he doesn't have a turret or when the May wall goes down. The Holy Jalapenos are playing their compositions better and taking advantage of the Comets' composition's weaknesses significantly better.
No, I definitely agree with you there. And with Funny Name coming in for the side of the Comets on heels, maybe that might be something that we'll see as a change. Maybe a swap is all the Comets will end up needing to turn this around. We do see, again, the Rhine Zarya coming out from the Comets. Holy Jalapenos choosing to stick with the double shield Sigma Orisa comp and the double sniper. Let's see if it works out for them.
We'll have to. They're going to need to make some clutch plays here, but the Holy Jalapenos have been nothing but that all night here. Clutch plays, an incredible team play. Sir Blake, though, hasn't really been on that hit scan. It's been all Pog, all the Pog show today, and he's going to be locking in the Hanzo. Sir Blake, though, searching for a pick here. I like what the Comets are doing, though. Going to be taking advantage of those sightlines, just avoiding those long, long reaches where the Orisa and the snipers just get to wail on them and take a much closer engagement here.
Yep, and they're being incredibly effective right here. Using the environment to your advantage is one way to absolutely shut down a double sniper composition. If they can't get the sightlines they need to get picks, then all you're going to do is run up on them and slam them down.
That's exactly right. Now the Comets are up on that high ground. They've got all the position they could ever want and or need. Sir Blake, though, dropped low here. Very low on the Widowmaker. Not able to find a pick, though. The Comets need to find an engagement. They've dropped onto the low ground here. They've given up a lot of that positional advantage that they had beforehand. They need to choose an engagement timing, or else they might just get caught out here. The halt lands, holds him back even longer. The push starts, but Sifty already dropped extremely low and taken down on the Reinhardt there. They've waited far too long, and now Pog's going to have an angle above them on the Hanzo. It's a disaster here, and the Comets have spent nearly a minute and a half of their time on it.
Yeah, and that accretion was absolutely huge at the beginning of that fight. Sipsty should have known going into that, like, you got to have that shield up regardless, because as soon as you get stunned out, whether it be by that accretion or by something else, that you're ineffective to the rest of your team. You're going to get picked off by a double sniper. That's exactly what we ended up seeing, and now with 2 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock, they're going to have a hard time moving in here grabbing this objective.
Now they've got to go the hard way here. Take the longer sightlines up against those double snipers. Pog, though, already poised and ready up on the high ground, searching for a pick. It will be fired out by Truth, trying to just poke him off here, but there's just not much damage to be had. Paul can hide behind pretty much anything. Now wailing on Sips. See the Coalescence to engage though from the Comets. Good wall. Will save them a little bit of time here. The heals are coming in from Funny Name, but there's only so much they can do with this Coalescence. All of those heroes at critical, but the kills just aren't coming down. Abe still standing strong on point. Pog chucks in the Dragon. It's on top of absolutely everybody here. Holy Jalapenos walk in, clean up, and his Snipper find a nice two-piece with this Coalescence at the end.
And I have to say, that was smart at the beginning of that fight. They were using the walls on the objective to try to stay out of the sight lines of the double sniper comp. Unfortunately, Pog did have the dragons online. And when you're putting yourself in such a narrow position, all you're going to get is a face full of dragon.
Yeah, I mean, not the most desirable thing in Overwatch, but now they've got a face full of Amplification Matrix here. If that damage will be doubled on top of everybody. The Gravitic Flux picks up just to lose the other sound barrier to counter here, as he is brought up with his McCree, pardon me. Sifty making his way around. They're searching for an angle to get this shatter off at 94%. It could be huge. Just walk past those shields and press Q, buddy. This Reinhardt swinging in. The shatter lands, but only on the Snipper. One kill, though, might just be enough. Sir Blake goes down on the Widowmaker. Alex not done yet, though. This May is dishing out so many freezes right now in a Coalescence to top it all off. Funny Name, maybe a bit of an overcommitment here, but nonetheless, it will be finally the Comets taking point alpha.
And I have to say, that was absolutely beautiful. With everything that was going on, Truth at the beginning of that fight ended up soloing both Pog and Sir Blake on that Widow and Hanzo. They were so focused on taking out the tanks, they didn't even realize that the Truth was literally right in front of them, taking them down. And that ended up completely shutting them out of the objective, allowing them to grab it. Now they got 2.5 minutes to see if they can grab objective number 2.
Yeah, this fight looking good for the Comets, though, if they can force the Holy Jalapenos off of this high ground. That is the entire key to this fight, forcing them down into that Blizzard, into that Graviton. Anything's going to do it here. But if they give them time on the high ground for Pog to build up a Dragon Strike, for Snipper to get out this Coalescence, or for Malalia even to use an Amplification Matrix, it could be bad news bears. But I love this route they're taking, forcing them down, forcing out the rotation here. The cart, though, isn't moving at all during this. It is worth noting, this is all-time committed. If they do win this fight, it is huge for the side of the Holy Jalapenos. And we're playing Ring Around the Rosie right now as the Comets continue to engage on their own spawn. Finally, though, Truth makes it worth it. Pog out of the way. The push can come down. Coalescence looks to be dropped here, but is no match for the Blizzard. All in a small room, all frozen up. Bethcon's going to be the next to go here on the Sigma. If they can just look to finish off these kills. Sifty dropped low, and these kills aren't coming in nearly fast enough, but they will come in eventually for the side of the Comets. A slow push, but they manage to get there eventually.
I feel like the one thing that they lost out on right there, and maybe it was more so the fact that they were knowing the position that the Holy Jalapenos were going to end up taking in that, was not leaving someone on that card. They could have ended up getting picked off early, and that could have ended up losing them the fight, but it worked out regardless.
Yeah, and now they have to face up the Dragon Strike. Ruby already out of this fight. The Comets need to look to disengage here. You can't afford any time when there's 1 minute and 5 left on the clock. Bethcon, if she can find a pick here, it could be huge, but no. They get out cleanly. At least I think so. Truth drops low. Not quite. The May jumps forward. Alex is in a world of trouble right now. He's taken out by the accretion. 50 seconds on the clock. It's crunch time for the Comets.
And that was absolutely rough there at the end. They almost got everybody out of there, but Alex ended up getting halted right before going into the ice block. And I hate to say it, but if you're already moving in a direction, Isaac Newton said it best, you're just going to keep moving until you're acted upon by an opposite force. And that ended up putting them way out of position. With only 20 seconds left on the clock, I hope they have what it takes to grab objective 2.
Oh, but ladies and gentlemen, check the top of your screen. That's a whole lot of check marks, and it's going to be Comets the ones to start it with a Coalescence and the Shatter. Takes out Sir Blake and Snipper. Now looking to clean up the Graviton. Third's chucked in as well. Doesn't find anybody. 2 members remain on cart. 1 member with this Sigma, but that's going to be all she wrote for that fight. Comets engage hard with every single one of their ultimates and make it worth it.
That was absolutely beautiful, and they were outnumbered at the beginning of that fight when it came to ultimates as well. They were able to use it incredibly effectively and be able to take them on that high ground. Even Ruby with that Graviton, didn't end up getting a whole lot of value out of it, and we're still able to take that cart just by being able to separate out the team.
Oh, but holy jalapenos, they've gotten too big for their britches. Pog gets walled and taken out subsequently. However, Alex was traded for. Now the Coalescence trying to peel, dishes out a bit of damage here, but if the holy jalapenos can't follow up on it, this may have been all for naught.
All right, that cart is moving once again, though. Let's go ahead and see if they can re-engage.
Yeah, Sifsty searching for a little bit of space to work with on Abe. The wall lands, but he's only taken down half. Sir Blake, though, finds 2 with the Deadeye, walking straight past everybody, ignoring them, and takes down the back line. No DPS on the side of the Holy, or on the side of the Comets, pardon me. But nonetheless, they push through with a high charge. Zarya, Ruby, Bethcon gets beamed down, and that timer as well, ticking down for the Comets.
They have got to work some magic here. The only ultimates that they have online are the Graviton and the Blizzard coming into this fight. If they can use it effectively, that will give them the objective.
But Bethcon has a Graviton and a Dream right now. Snipper waiting for the Coalescence, but they got to deal with this Blizzard first. The player's almost cleanly getting out, except for Bethcon, who's left behind and dies herself. Alex and Truth, though, taken out on the side of the Comets. Again, those DPS out of the fight. Ruby, though, in their own right, makes up all of that DPS in beam charge, but the shatter's huge from Abe, lands down onto 3 members and finishes off that last remaining bit of DPS. Overtime taking down to Sifty, the only person to hold on to this cart. There's a support with them, but they're not long for life. Truth rolls his way on, but the overtime is just at this point. Oh, and the May on the high ground. Poor Alex. But that's going to be it. Holy Jalapenos managed to hold on here at Blizzard World.
Yes, that was absolutely beautiful right there. And I have to say, the one thing that I was kind of surprised about was the fact that they didn't try to combo the Graviton with the Blizzard. That would have been incredibly effective in the fact that we ended up seeing Ruby get a 4-man with that Graviton. Unfortunately, nobody was following up on the damage other than Ruby. If that would have been easily coupled with Alex's Blizzard, they would have been able to take that cart super easily. But unfortunately, I don't know if it was communication or nerves or whatever ended up going down. It just did not work out for them, but they were able to still grab 2 out of the 3 objectives, almost the 3rd one if you look at the meterage for that objective as well. All they got to do is hold on one of these first 2 points, and this will be a game for the Comets.
Comets staring in the face of what might just be their first map victory, but they did not complete the map, which means it's within grasp of Holy Jalapenos, and we know what they can do when you don't finish a map. We all saw Full Sky and how that went. They're going to look to run that one right on back. Oh boy, and they're going to run Pog back on the Hanzo. Sir Blake again on that McCree. It's been potent so far. The Comets need to come up with something big, but they think they have it. Truth on a Junkrat and Alex on a Torbjorn.
And I feel like this is going to be incredibly effective for them. Being able to, like, I think the focus, though, is making sure that you're taking out Beth on the Zarya, not charging Beth on the Zarya, which is really difficult when you're playing as both Torb and Junkrat. Let's see if they can make it happen.
So far, it's looking all right for him. This double shield holding up on the point, and Abe's shield is already out of the way. Alex's turret, however, goes down in the trade, and this Junkrat is dishing out so much damage just over this point. There's no way to avoid it for the Holy Jalapenos, and they got to back right off.
And that is absolutely beautiful, effective use of damage right there. Even what we see right here, Ruby getting that Holt to pick off Sir Blake, just that little bit of extra time off the clock as they wait for that respawn is going to absolutely put them in a good position. Now we're going to have to see, are they going to switch off this composition? Are they going to be effective and use the lines of sight to their advantage? Or are they just going to charge right back in and see if their jalapenos will be too hot for the Comet?
So Jalapenos taking a page out of the Comets, but going to be wrapping all around here, trying to avoid a lot of that spam damage coming out from the Junkrat and the Torbjorn here. Take up the other side of the point, but they need to be a lot quicker. Malalia drops low, taken down on that Moira. No main heals here. They do have Snipper, though, still alive on the Lucio. If they can engage quickly, get this Reinhardt hammer doing a lot of damage as his point takes down. They could be in the money right now. In fact, they might just get 2 ticks here. Someone's on the back, but no. 2 ticks head over the way of the Holy Jalapenos. Nearly a third. They need to start their engage at some point. Comets, what are you doing? They've got the ultimates. They just need to use them. The Dragon chucked on point, trying to split people off, but Abe is at absolutely 0 HP. The Reinhardt down, now out of the way. The damage is going to be enough. Bethcon, though, is still alive on the Zarya, still beaming down people. Sipsty will drop low, and these kills, they'll start to matter because that spawn advantage is the way of the Holy Jalapenos right now.
And it looks like they're going to continue to get picks and clear off the objective right there, but not without a cost. I'm actually incredibly surprised that they didn't end up using that little bunker that they have on the objective as a way to fend them off, essentially. Being outside of the objective allowed them to get those 2 ticks during the entire fight, and now Comets will literally have to keep them off the objective as long as possible to hope that they don't get that final tick.
Oh, but Comets have all the ultimates in the world to do it here. Sipsty staring at a Gravitic Flux right now. Could be juicy up against this Brawl competition, but they're going to start out with a tire. Goes up and above, searching for the Zarya, and Bethcon taken out with ease. Deadeye dropped in from Sir Blake in the back line here. Doesn't quite find any value, but does manage to take down one afterwards. Snipper follows up here, and this bunker car starting to fall apart. Junkrat now out of the way. The spam damage all gone here. Orissa's trying to hold on. The bongo chucked, but the shatter will completely ignore it here. Holy Jalapenos tick over point A with just over a minute left.
And that was just, again, just a little off on the timing of the ultimates. The Gravitic Flux that we ended up seeing coming out from Sips T at the beginning of that fight only managed to grab Abe. If they would have done that a couple seconds sooner, when Truth had ended up popping that Deadeye, they would have ended up getting so much more value out of that Deadeye with that shield out of the way. Unfortunately, it just did not happen.
And Holy Jalapenos, they bought enough time to get their ultimates in that fight. Now they have a Graviton Surge along with the Dragon. It's hard when there's a Sigma in the game as well. But now Holy Jalapenos continue their push forward. They've got their combo in their back pocket. Funny Name, though, has the Transcendence. If they can force it out, though, could be huge here. Waiting for a good opportunity to engage, though. Waiting for that shield to come back up for Abe. The Holy Jalapenos continue their escapade forward, and they actually looking pretty successful. Graviton Surge, the Dragon in, but the Molten Core finds 2. Alex turning up the heat right now, finding all the kills on the Holy Jalapenos.
And that ended up working absolutely beautiful for them. Alex staying out of the way of that Graviton, knowing that they were going to get caught up in it. Funny Name using that Transcendence, knowing that the Dragons were soon to come, could have ended up being bad for them, because Pog could have literally just waited to use that Dragon Strike after that point. But it worked out really well for them. Comets now have shaved off a lot of time from the clock, and they're putting themselves in a good position to take this map.
And that's one of the things that this Torbjorn offers, is just so many different options with the Molten Core. But right now, the Amplification Matrix chucked out, and that damage all being doubled is so much. Malalia tries to peel it off with that Coalescence, but without a Reinhardt, it's very, very difficult. It's all going to be Sipsty in the front line. But no, the damage racks up from the side of the Holy Jalapenos. They find pick after pick after pick. And this fight all of a sudden turned around.
Yeah, and that was absolutely great work from Sir Blake. Ended up staying on the high ground while everyone jumped down to the objective, and was able to get a couple of kills before dropping down to meet the rest of the team. Ended up dying in the end, but at that point the fight was already won for the Jalapenos.
Jalapenos as well, looking just as spicy with their ultimate charges coming up. Bethcon, 70% to the Graviton Surge, which could just be a game ender here, considering how close that card is to the end. The Comets are going to need a stranglehold here on point C. With just about 2 minutes left, though, it's going to be a tough call here for the Holy Jalapenos, just waiting for their opportunity as the Shatter comes through. Ames is bigger, though! Finds absolutely everybody. 2 kills with a charge. Kill with the Deadeye to follow it up. This cart continues to charge forward right now for the Holy Jalapenos.
And that is something you always got to be careful about as a Rhine. You know that that other Shatter is going to be in the back pocket. So if you do not fall that Rhine, do not charge in with your shield down.
Oh, and Pogs, 80% to that Dragon Strike, the Graviton Surge, however, will be chucked in bare naked right now. Finds Alex and True60 getting beamed down here by Bethcon on medium charge or so, but Abe's hammer is going to be making up for the lack of damage in that regard. Moira down on point, and it looks like the Holy Jalapenos setting themselves up to take this series away.
And that was absolutely beautiful work again from the Holy Jalapenos right there. Even though they ended up kind of scuffing the Graviton there onto Sips T, who ended up getting saved by their Mei. It just did not work out for them. The team was still scattered. Not everyone was back from spawn just yet as they had to engage. And with that stagger already in place, they just ended up finding themselves on the wrong side of victory tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Holy Jalapenos take the game 3-0, but we do get one more map here for your enjoyment, and we will be heading over to Escort. It's going to be Dorado, Rialto, or Junkertown, and the question is, where are the Comets heading for their redemption map?
I feel like the place that they probably should end up going is Rialto. And the only reason that I say that is that it seems like the Comets have been trying to use a distance over aggression for this entire night. I think we've seen Ruby a majority of the night playing on that Orisa, and those ults have been absolutely beautiful. You couple that with either Red Mudkip or Funny Name on a Lucio, and that bridge is your playground. Literally every single side that the team can come in to attack, you've got Boop Central all over the place. If you can control every single lane that the team is coming in at, you're going to be absolutely golden. And I think we might even be able to see a return of the Far Mercy that they were running for the first two maps if they can get those boops as well.
Yeah, I like the Far Mercy. Alex is getting in a lot of damage, but I don't like his positioning in general. It's been leaving him really open, and Pog has been absolutely on fire tonight, looking indomitable on that McCree so far. And I think we can see more of him most likely, either on the Hanzo or the McCree. The Dragon Strikes especially have been really good as well. Pog's just having a hell of a night, isn't he?
Yes, and I feel like, to be honest, it's not even coming down to Pog. It's coming down to the positioning of the Comets. They're just, with that bunker composition, they got to stay incredibly grouped up. They can't really stay spaced out. And, having Bethcon on that Zarya definitely makes it a go-to for that Dragon Strike. Pog, though, is putting in a lot of damage regardless of the Dragon Strikes that we can continue to see coming in.
Yeah, the man's aim is on point. What can we say? But it looks like you're going to be correct here. We are heading over to the beautiful waters of Rialto, and maybe we'll get to see a few environmental kills, especially with that new Reinhardt passive nerf. Lucio able to knock him significantly further. It's only 20%, but honestly, it feels like it's the whole shebang right now. It was at a point where Reinhardt really felt like he wasn't going anywhere whenever you touched him, but now it's more reasonable. We can boop him off this bridge. We stand a chance. If you want to run that Pharah, I think it offers you a lot of options, but it's going to all come down to Alex's positioning on this map, using those rooftops to your advantage, using every single angle you can without getting picked by Pog, without going over aggressive and trying to go on flanks. And that's what I want to see out of the Comets right now.
I definitely agree with you there. If they can use that to their advantage, it will work out incredibly well for them. But I've got to be honest, I feel like something might be changing in the air for the Comets. They might be able to reignite here, even if it's just for a map victory. There's still pride. There's still pride to fight for tonight. So let's see if the Comets can go ahead and take this one away. See a lot of giveaway entries in the chat being redeemed right now. Definitely good to see all those points going to some incredibly good use.
I thank you for complimenting my view. Nonetheless, though, the Comets are yet to be 4-0'd this season. This would be the first time, and delivered very kindly by the Holy Jalapenos. I gotta say, they are looking really, really good. We talked a lot about what the Comets can do better, but we have to sit back and praise the Holy Jalapenos for a second. It's not just Pog. Like you said, it's the entire team's positioning. It's how they're playing their compositions. It's their understanding of their compositions as well. Bethcon has been an absolute monster on the Zarya. How many times on Blizzard World did we see the Holy Jalapenos lose both of their DPS, and then win solely off the back of the damage that Bethcon had. It's absurd.
And that's exactly what I was saying at the beginning of that fight. If they were doling out that much damage but not taking down Zarya, it was going to be the death of them. And oh man, that's a huge first pick.
Already, so Blake catches one out. It's only going to be a little bit of time off the clock, though. It is a defensive Widow, so those picks matter just a little bit less here as they cross the bridge. Trying to take advantage of it, though, are the Holy Jalapenos. Reinhardt searching for an engagement, gets charged through. Sir Blake finds one in return, though. That goes down, but so does Funny Name. Now, though, Sifty, the only man with a shield on the server, but it's 60 HP. He needs to go ahead and respect these sight lines. Ruby deals out a lot of damage, but so does Pog, taking the Zarya out of the equation. And right now, that spawn advantage starting to swap over to the way of the Holy Jalapenos, and those picks are going to start mattering more and more from Sir Blake.
Now, we haven't seen Vet play tonight, and Abe was showing to be a huge force. Ooh, and that's already a huge start for the side of the Holy Jalapenos.
Quick pick from Pog with those rockets. Takes down one. Alex drops low as well. This may not long for life right now. Vet swinging through. Everybody getting so much support from his Moira, from his Lucio. Those heals are starting to add up, and Sifty being pressured out. The health isn't dropping low, but Sifty's shield is right now. Great Maywall, though, catches Vet out and might get charged through, but it's Sir Blake instead, finding the body shot down on the Funny Name, and there's just nothing that Rosé can do. The Widowmaker that went so far in the 1v1 tournament doesn't stand a chance against an aimbotting soldier.
And that was absolutely huge for them, despite the fact that both Vet and Sipsty were able to get shatters off. It was the fact that that Sipsty and the rest of the Comets ended up continuing to engage once they heard the tack visor go off. You can't just kind of let that go. You got to be able to put that shield up and defend your team and allow your team to get the picks on that. But if you don't allow that to happen, then you see Pog cleaning up like that.
And the DPS here from the Holy Jalapenos are absolutely dominating that of the Comets. Rosé isn't lasting more than a couple seconds in each fight, but now they've gotten the Blizzard, they've worked this for long to get it, and they're going to be using it to their advantage. Finding 3 picks. Rosé coming up big, taking down both the DPS of Holy Jalapenos, firing right back. Holy Jalapenos, though, they may get one more contested on this card if they decide to go for it.
I swear, Rosé literally just put all that damage on their back, getting 4 out of the 6 kills to be able to allow them to push into objective number 1. Now they got 4 minutes on the clock to see if they can keep it going.
A little bit of spice from Rosé there, takes out Sir Blake, and also, yeah, this DPS matchup looking a little bit more fair for the side of the Comets as well. Graviton Surge chucked in for good measure. Sound Barrier can't come soon enough. Now it's all about the disengage here for the Holy Jalapenos, giving up as little as possible. Bethcon gets booped down, but lands on top of the gondolier? I don't speak. I can't. I speak German and English, and that's it.
Yeah, I know that it's a gondola, actually, now that I think of it. I think
but she landed on the guy's head.
Did she? Oh, okay. I missed that part. All right.
I'm not gonna test my knowledge here. I will, however, watch as the Comets get tested by the Holy Jalapenos. This time it's their turn. They chuck in the Graviton Surge as well as the Dynamite. Ash receiving a nice little buff of her own, but Rosé has found a kill yet again. Pog taken out of the fight here, and the other DPS is stuck in no man's land right now. Vet forced back, and Rosé has just proven such a threat on the Widowmaker.
I agree with that.
Oh, the shatter lands onto 3! My God, Vet looks to clean up afterwards, though the charge comes through. There's not that much damage to follow it up. Rosé can't still do this. Funny Name has the coalescence. That damage starting to add up on top of Vet at absolutely no HP. Bethcon can't get out quick enough, and a great re-engage by the Comets nets them a B point.
And that was absolutely huge for them. And I gotta say, I kind of question Malalia getting the boop after Bethcon's Graviton. All they ended up doing was creating space for the Comets to regroup just a couple of seconds after that Graviton, and not giving the Holy Jalapenos the ability to engage and get some damage on that. I feel like it was just a misstep that might end up costing them this third objective too.
And we talk about a retribution map right now for the Comets. It's looking exactly like that. The Comets continue forward. The Graviton Surge chucked in, and it's going to be Sifty not able to get anywhere near it right now. A great sound barrier to disengage, but It will be the Blizzard following up, almost sealing the fate of the Holy Jalapenos. Vet, though, has found a couple of kills. He's got both his supports with him. This Reinhardt dishing out tons of damage could just be the crux of the Comets push.
And Rosé still working on that sideline, ends up getting a couple picks of their own, but it looks like they will end up falling in that 2-1 right there as they go ahead and get staggered once again. 2 minutes 45 seconds on the clock. I have to say, Comets are doing an incredible job. That wall from Alex was huge, but without the heals to come in to continue to support the team's aggression, it totally allowed Vet to bring it back as they grab control.
And every meter will matter here on that final point, as pushing anywhere through it is going to be especially tricky. The Comets losing their momentum there was huge, losing that ultimate advantage as well. They've only got 60 on an ultimate. Red Mudkip, though, coming up with the sound barrier could be huge here, countering a lot of things that the Holy Jalapenos have to offer. Holy Jalapenos, though, backing up, trying to get up a couple of their own right now. However, it's Vet who charges through, gets aggressive with it, and will be rewarded for doing so. Red Mudkip now out of the fight. Vet swinging through, and Sifty can't find the charge in reverse. Instead, it's going to be Sir Blake. 4 kills, man. The McCree popping off.
Oh, it looks like Rosé and Sir Blake trading positions right there as we see Sir Blake just picking off hit after hit. The Bob in the back line didn't do the Comets any favors right there as they tried to continue with their aggression. I think with the ultimates that they have coming online, though, they saved that beat drop as well as the coalescence for funny name right there. And if they can place it correctly, they could end up taking this map.
That they could here. The Comets continuing forward. Funny Name's got the coalescence, looking to engage with it. Not much damage, but will look to save Alex. Vet's in the backline, though. The charge through. Hits onto Red Mudkip, but he will be punished for it. Taken out immediately by the charge of Sif's T. Sir Blake with a 2-man Deadeye. Holy Jalapenos not done with this map by any means yet.
And it continues to be the message of Rhines learning how to keep their shields up. I gotta tell you, Sips T just being a little bit out of position, trying to end up taking down Vet, allowed Sir Blake to get that beautiful Deadeye that allowed them to hold control of that objective. With only 45 seconds remaining on the clock right now, Comets have got to get aggressive and find their way into this objective.
Comets need to start now, but they don't have too many tools to do it. The Graviton Surge is up. 60 has a Shatter. One of those two has to be huge. Meanwhile, Malalia is basically just racing here to a sound barrier, trying to catch up to that Graviton Surge charge rate, and just 10% away here. It might come up in time. It is going to be damn close. Bethcon can peel for a bit, though, with this Griddick Flux. Picks up a ton of these Comets and slams them back down to the earth here. Sifty has to charge out, and now the sound barrier to re-engage. The Coalescence on top. The ultimates are being laid on. At this point, it's all gravy. Pog finds a huge dynamite here. Sifty is alive, but not for long. The Zarya of Ruby alive on point, but overtime ticks down. It's inevitable at this point. Comets will not see the end of Rialto.
And that was one thing that the Comets definitely did not see coming, that they probably should have. Bethcon with that Gravitic Flux is always going to be huge when it comes to payload maps. Just being able to lift them off of the objective, even if it's just a couple of them, did not allow them to engage onto that Graviton Surge that got thrown out. And with that, they ended up getting taken out. But again, they can use this to their advantage. Even though they didn't get to objective number 3, they have the environmentals that can be their saving grace right here. If they can get some beautiful pulls and boops off the side of this first point, it will be a 4-minute lockdown right outside of the Holy Jalapeno spawn. The question is that the direction that they plan to go?
Doesn't look like it. They want to run more of this Reinhardt Zarya. It's been working for him this far. It got him most of the way through Rialto there, but I've got to say, Holy Jalapenos, it's only displaying how well they're playing that final fight. They knew what ultimates the Comets would be coming at them with. They knew the Graviton Surge was there. They knew that if it came out before their Lucio, they had to use their Gravitic Flux to peel for it, then use that sound barrier to re-engage. It's just flawless ultimate usage from the Holy Jalapenos so far, and I can't wait to see what they have to offer us on this push, as they have a wall immediately outside their door.
4, 3, 2.
Yeah, I think the thing that they're not planning for is the split push that is coming out of spawn there for the Holy Jalapenos.
Oh, Pug. He set up perfectly. The Bastion. Oh, my God. Vet takes 2 with him off that ledge as well. Rose fires right back. Those Sir Blake's out of the fight, but the tanks are headed straight the way of Holy Jalapenos with both of them up. They are more than happy to push this cart right across the bridge.
I don't know what Comets were thinking of there. I really don't. With so many doors coming out of spawn, like I get it. Like if you're doing a map like Junkertown where limited exits from the spawn, you can make that happen.
Okay,
but
Rose, that was just cocky. That was just cocky. The jump shot behind the short wall while you're half HP, I respect the engage, but man, yeah, you gotta know when to hold him and when to fold him right now. Sipsty though decides it is time to go all in here. Charges straight. Maywall will save him though. The shatter from Vet 4 again. Every single one he throws out seems to connect. Sipsty's got a bubble but is low, and this fight immediately won the way of Holy Jalapenos.
it looks like, based on the way that things are going, Rose, although carrying with the kills right now, I don't think is going to be successful in stopping the payload on their own.
Bethcon finds the beam down onto him. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Make it 5 here as we add another 2:30 onto that clock. Holy Jalapenos cruising and bruising their way through Rialto right now. Comets coming up on a few ultimates though themselves.
Well, the big thing is this choke right here. If they can hold that corner, it can be huge.
Sir Blake.
Oh, that headshot is going to already put them at a disadvantage. 6-4 as they go in to engage at the objective.
Now pushing in, they're going to use that coalescence, try to stop this push from coming in for just a little bit. Get Sips T to get his shatter, let Red Mug get the sound barrier up because Vet is coming near with the shatter, but Graviton Surge used for peel. No damage on top of it though. Sir Blake finds another pick onto Rose. The wall lands onto nothing. Vet calmly disengaging, finds the charge down onto Sipsty, pulls him away from his team. Pog and the rest of them going to back off, wait for this Reinhardt to die, and now the push-in commence. Holy Jalapenos, they've got a shatter, and there's not a single shield in sight. Do they even need it? Absolutely not. Pog coming in big with the dynamite, hitting multiple people, and the Holy Jalapenos barreled through second point.
And that's the unfortunate part that we continue to see in these fights, is that when someone is in the back line, you have to split that attention just a little bit. It wasn't enough that oh, wait, what's going on now?
Recontest with the Blizzard here on the point. The shatter finds 4. Anything you can do, I can do better, says Sipsty as they clean up that fight. Comets, hold on here at point B.
And literally with just a 0.06 meters to grab that objective back, they are absolutely successful right there. With now 3 minutes 15 seconds on the clock, I'm excited to see if Comets can hold it here. It's great positioning for them because they have the spawn advantage. It's a long spawn for the Holy Jalapenos, and it really will shave a lot of time off that clock.
Alex is back on the Torb as well. They're looking to brawl with the Brigitte right now. A little dance with the devil for the Holy Jalapenos, and they're looking to tango right now as they make their way forward. Calmly waiting though. Oh, Sipsty getting ballsy with the charge right now. Doesn't find anything but not to be punished. Vet misses a shatter for what feels like the first time in his life, but won't miss that charge down onto Alex. Alex, though, the turret's still alive. Still dealing the damage right now with the Reinhardt out of the way. The Comets can look to engage. Sipsty has full reign over this point, but the rally of Malalia will be holding them off for the time being. Sir Blake finds a pick down onto Red Mudkip, cuts off those heals, and will allow them to continue to push so long as they can find this kill onto Ruby. Dishing out a lot of damage. Alex makes it back onto the car here. This may be a stagger that lasts a good while.
I think the numbers have it for them, though, as we go ahead and see that cart finally get pushed in. 3 minutes, 35 seconds on the clock. Holy Jalapenos only have 80 meters to go to get it into that final resting spot. Will the 4-0 be in their favor?
Good question. They're looking to see out this night. Hand the Comets their first 4-0, but they're in the face of a lot of ultimates here. The Graviton Surge, notably, just on cooldown right now for Ruby. Won't even have to use it, though, as the engagement's clean, and Sips T's Shatter is just as much so. Bethcon getting beamed down now in the back line here, and the Holy Jalapenos try again.
And despite losing objective number 2, they're doing incredible right there. That was a perfectly placed shatter. Even though they were not able to grab Bethcon, they still ended up taking Vet out of the fight, which allowed them to continue to push them off the objective. But the re-engage is short-coming here. They are going to have to be ready for another push.
And right now, if there's one thing I want to compliment, it's Red Mudkip. Always having the support ultimate on time, and will yet again. The Graviton Surge, the Dragon to follow up, but there will be a sound barrier to save them here. They just need to live for a little longer. Pog, though, catches out Alex further behind, didn't get the sound barrier, and now it's going to be Holy Jalapenos pushing this cart right on through to the end of this point.
And that was absolutely well-timed from Vet right there. Going for the tackle against Sips T to keep them in that Dragon Strike. Ended up taking them out of the fight. Holy Jalapenos taking it away 4-0 first time this season against the Comets.
Holy Jalapenos cooked the Comets, but the Comets had a decent showing. I liked the compositional creativity I got to saw. I liked a lot of stuff we saw out of Red Mudkip. And of course, tons of huge plays for both sides. Holy Jalapenos, though, look like a force to be reckoned with right now, don't they?
I absolutely agree with you. There's nothing I could say that the Holy Jalapenos have shown that they are going to end up taking this. And if Holy Jalapenos are able to take down a 4-1 team that we've seen so far this season, I feel maybe like their 2 losses may have just kind of been flukes, might have been missing their whole team. Don't know the whole story on those matches, but they're definitely showing to be a force to be reckoned with as we head into the playoffs.
Some very solid Harmony tier play we got to see tonight, but that's not all we have for you guys this week. Of course, tonight we got to see the Comets versus the Holy Jalapenos. Tomorrow, I know Wednesday is not something that's super normal for us, but we are co-hosting a charity tournament with Overtime Champions, and they have been so kind as to let us produce a couple of those matches. So I think that'll be over on their Twitch page. You can find it. It'll probably be linked somewhere on their Twitter at Overtime Champions. And now on Thursday, that's going to be followed up by Tough Luck versus Prodigious in your Discord tier match of the week, and Rebellion versus Animus on Friday. And that's going to be all we have for you guys lined up just for this week. I'm sure we'll be back the following with some more. As for tonight, though, the Holy Jalapenos take away an amazing 4-0 victory up against the Comets. That's all we got for you. I have been Dor. I have been joined by Captain Jack, and Juke has been producing. You can see all the socials right on the screen. Shoot anybody a follow who you feel needs it. But that's going to be all for tonight. Thank you guys, and we'll catch you later.